This is Keith Boggs. This is the debrief for 1732 Blackstone Drive. Got about 130 pictures and several videos. We're going to go through all that stuff now. First picture you see here is just a picture of the front of the house. Nothing necessarily wrong. That's just for the title page of the report. Eventually, I'm going to make it where on the report you click on the house. It's going to have and it's going to play the video that I'm sending you through YouTube. I just haven't got that done yet, but that's the next step. This is the approximate direction the house is facing, so approximately north. This is the temperature when I got here, about 20 degrees. It's not much warmer now. We were able to test the heat, but since it's below 60, we cannot test the air conditioning. So also, there's things that on the heating side, we don't look at the heat exchangers. On the cooling side, we don't look at coils. So there's a few things that AC guys do, service guys do that home inspectors don't do. So if you have any concerns about the air conditioner, you mentioned the age of it, then you may want to go the next step and have an HVAC guy come out here and do a full evaluation, look at the coils, look at the heat exchangers. It's not that expensive. You only got one unit, probably $150 or less, and he can look at to see things that I could possibly miss. So on the heat side, everything works fine. This is the location of your water meter, which is out front here. So the state of Texas requires we tell you where it's at, along with the gas meter. And then this next thing is just a video of the low flow indicator to show that it eventually does start to move when she was in the house. But you can see it sits still, and that's what we want it to do most of the time, is be sitting completely still, not moving. That little dial, you'll see it here in a minute. She does something in the house and it starts to spin around. So it should be sitting completely still. That's when she did something. So and it did stop at the end. So this is just to verify that I did look at look for supply leaks. So this is your double check valve. This is your double check valve, but most of it's buried under the ground. Just that you can see the tops of the handles of the two valves there, and they're probably pretty rusted. So it's probably a pretty good chance that that sprinkler control valve under there is not in good shape. So they'll need to just remove that dirt and just have somebody evaluate that control valve. And that's where it's located, right there. And then this is your four of your sprinkler zones. That's one. So that's out front also, right there. Sprinkler system, as you know, we only got one zone to work. I think the others were frozen because I went to the other zones and they wouldn't come on. So there's also a spigot. It's back here that was frozen over here. Okay, so this is on the roof here. This flashing here is called, on this side it's called rake edge flashing, but it's all drip flashing. This black felt you see here is supposed to be laying on top of that. It's an install error they made when they installed the roof. This is a very common defect. I see it every day. Sometimes I go days where it's not wrong. It's almost always wrong. But since it's per the code, it's wrong. It'll be in the report. There's really nothing. You don't really need to take any action on it. It's just kind of a minor thing. That's more the felt showing that it's wrong. Okay, you see how I'm lifting the shingles here? You'll see this at other locations, all the way up into the main shingles. You can see the adhesive is present, but I'm just able to lift those shingles up. That's just more felt. See, I'm just lifting them. So the shingles, if they adhere properly, they should stick together, and you should not be able to lift them. If you try to force them, they'll rip in half, they'll tear. So one of the things the state of Texas requires home inspectors is to call up what's called adhesion. What that means is how well are the things sticking together. The roof is just a builder grade 3-tab roof. It's not one of the higher end roofs. This is fairly common too. But you do want to get somebody up to evaluate the roof because this can become problematic. There's already been some repairs. Well, this is some cracking shingles that need to be repaired at a ridge right down there. These are uncovered nail heads on the ridge cap. They need to be covered with sealant. That's showing some past hail damage, so the roof was hit with hail before. Then you see the shingles torn away there? So what happens is the wind starts to lift that shingle up, and after a while, going back and forth, it just breaks off. And there's some other repairs here. This is a repair here. That's upside down though. It's a past repair.
So they have been repaired?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, this is the video. Okay, so people are always asking about the roof, so I started taking videos of the roof. So after I did the inspection, I don't know if you saw me walk around, I was videoing it. This is a short video. I'm going to play it so you have it for this recording. It's only about 30 seconds long. And this will give you an idea of the overall condition of the roof. And again, this all will be in the video, but not in the report, except for the defects.
Interesting.
What's that?
There was one spot where there was a couple of like bumps.
Yeah.
It was over on the right.
I think it has to do with the shingles not sticking. The overall condition, they're pretty good. They're pretty good shape. And you're probably not going to. You've got a few blown shingles already, but I probably would take a while for you to start seeing that happen all the time. 5, 6, 7 years down the road, when they start getting more flimsy, you're going to start getting more of those blown shingles. So I think further evaluation of the roof by a roofing company. I think you should do that.
Okay.
This is the water pressure. So water pressure is 40 to 80. The range is 40 to 80. It was at 60 for a house of this size. That's fine. We have to report that for the state. And then quite a few loose and cracking mortar joints, cracks in the mortar joint. It looks like to me it was mainly perimeter movement because there's really no cracking of the floors or the ceilings inside, except for the garage. And I think that's some stuff sitting on top of this in the attic. And some of the other cracking it had to do with perimeter movement too. Some of the spots do look like there may be some loose framing. So I don't think you need a structural engineer, but I'm not telling you not to get one.
Okay.
So that's just the location of it. Same thing, more just loose.
It could also be before they repaired the foundation that they did not go back to fix it, right?
Possibly, yeah, because everything in here has been freshly painted. And there are, I got some pictures. There's some re-cracking at the, but nothing that's real. This is what's called a corner compression crack. You've got several of those. Those are non-cosmetic. I mean, they're non-structural. They're just cosmetic. That's just where it's located. This is showing. This is probably where they put one of the piers. It looks like to me they put around the whole perimeter almost.
Yeah, there's 19 total.
Oh, that's not too bad actually. That's not really that bad. That's another pier patch right there. And then this spigot is actually sitting out too far. It's a frost proof, but then this flange should actually sit back here to keep from freezing. So it froze over. We couldn't test the pressure there. This is right up front, right? Yeah, up front. This is another corner compression crack. And these can pop off. The corner pop. It's still not structurally significant. It just needs to be repaired. That's where it's located. Then you've got you can see some repointing of some mortar joints there. That's typical kind of stuff you see. This is probably something they did themselves. A mortar guy, a seasoned mortar guy that does mortar every day would do a better job of matching the mortar. Same thing here. So some of these things, when you see people doing this kind of repointing, there's a vapor barrier behind there. If the cracks aren't that bad, my opinion is that this looks worse than having a hairline crack. They redo the joint. Now look at it, sticks right out.
Yeah.
And if that wasn't there, if that crack was hairline, most people wouldn't even see it. Or you need to get a good mortar guy. You've got vegetation around the front and around the side of the house. So if you're doing a VA loan or FHA loan, they may require you to remediate the conducive conditions. They don't want to have any vegetation touching the structure, nothing under the drip of the roof, no high soil. So you don't have several locations here where you've got vegetation. If you're doing a regular conventional loan or you're doing paying cash, then it doesn't matter. What matters for protecting from termites and stuff. This is just some cracking at the front walkway there, which you probably saw. Come on.
Yeah.
And that's just cosmetic. This is a fascia board, which you actually noticed too. That fascia board needs to be repaired. It's just one piece right there. So sometimes you'll try to cut a little piece off and just patch it. It's not much more for the whole piece. Just replace the whole piece.
It looks to me it might be chewed up by a squirrel or something.
Or a tree branch gets in there, bouncing around, dragging in there. The branch keeps on regenerating, but the roof doesn't. This is another corner compression crack. Again, not cosmetic. That's just where it's located. And then vegetation all along the side here. This is your gas meter, which is located up front here, northeast side, or northwest side. This again, just some more mortar joint cracking. So again, I'm not going to put every single picture in here. The only place I saw clean out was on the side of the house here. Usually the cleanouts are on the front bed. You don't usually see them on the side unless there's been some kind of past repair. But regardless, there's only one of them I'm seeing. So we want to just ask the homeowners. The inspector said he didn't see double cleanouts. So we want to know if there's sometimes they'll forget to install that second cleanout, and that's about $2,000 to have them, or more, depending on what they have to do. And it may be another one somewhere buried underground. I don't know that. But usually they're there, but sometimes they're not. This is high soil, and this is also a conducive condition for termites. They get right in there, and then you can't see them on the foundation. They just get in there and start eating away. Also, for some of these things, you just need to trim it away. If the soil is too high, you don't want to really remove the soil, especially at a place like this where you could pond water and cause foundation to move. So in that case, you may be better to leave the soil and just have them do a treatment, a termite treatment, and right in that area there, so the termites don't get in there. This is your train condenser. This is for me when I check the panel box. This is some of the cracking in the garage. So this is really the most significant movement is in the garage. But again, the garage is a weak spot. That's at the ceiling. Oh, this is just missing if there's no breaker, there should be a little black, what's called a knockout. So somebody doesn't stick their finger in there. Okay, inside the panel box, really the only error mistake I found is, you see how they've got these multiple wires going to one location? There. See right here is a single wire. There's a single wire. But they're here, and here. They've got multiple. It's called double tapping. So they double tap that lug. So that's a fire hazard. Could damage equipment, and if you had a home warranty, it could void your warranty. So that needs to. And they did put a bigger. Basically, they put a bigger or additional bus bar in there. That's something an electrician will do. This is the worst crack. It's right by us right here. This is a video of the garage door test. Pressure reverse is when I grab the door, and then I'll test the eye. It should reverse like that. Then I'm going to put my foot in front of that eye there to make sure that it works. And it works. This is just more garage stuff. No, you can't see it. There's a piece of weather stripping missing right here. My shadow's blocking it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
See the weather strip? It's actually short right there. Driveway's pretty bad crack. That needs to be sealed. It's going to keep on getting worse. If you're okay cosmetically with having the crack there, you can just seal it, and it'll at least slow down the cracking. But when it's that big of a gap, it's going to just keep on deflecting and warping and going all over the place. So it needs to be sealed up. These pictures are just pictures of the garage. There are stuff covering the garage walls and stuff. So it'll just be a statement that there was stuff in the garage and I couldn't see behind it. Okay, this is the attic access stairs. See how they're using a screw here? Screws are not allowed on attic access stairs. They don't have the shear strength that a nail does. So a screw like that. So you get somebody that's 250, 300 pounds going up that ladder, and those snap, and it comes out of the ceiling. So all you do is go to Home Depot. You buy what are called 16 penny nails. I'll actually put it in the report, and I'll put the nailing pad. So it's basically, this is the front of the. You put a 16 penny nail there, 16 penny nail there. Same thing on the back, and then you put 3 on each side. It's super easy. You can do that in 5 minutes.
Right.
This is what I was talking about in the attic. This is all over the garage ceiling. This is stuff that's falling between the. That's what's damaging the ceiling. It's a lot of stuff. It's all kind of falling over. Attics really aren't made for storing things. They even hang the furnace. They don't put that on the ground even. So this not only is it just not. It's a huge fire hazard, and you get a fire up in there, and this stuff is so. This is the water heater. Water heater was fine. Some of the ducting this should be supported more. You know what's hanging here? Mm-hmm. So you got some hanging ducting, some kinking. Ducting is kinking over. It seemed fine in the house. This is your York furnace air handler. The door for the furnace, for the filter, has broken loose. They were using tape to hold that in place. They're using a 1-inch in there. You can actually use, I think, a 5 or 6-inch filter on this sucker, which means you can change it once a year. Otherwise, you do it every month. This is the filter inside. It's a 1-inch, but it's clean. This is a video of the burner compartment, and then the unit. We want to see nice blue flames in there. You'll see here in a second. Nice blue flames. A little leap into the yellow, but burner compartment looks good. And the furnace is heating good. I got some heat measurements here too. Insulation in a few spots is low. Just 20 years, gravity has just kind of pushed it down. So these are the differentials on the return side, 65, 114 on the supply side. What's that? 60 points? Something like that. So that's a pretty good spread. There are some rat droppings up there. It doesn't look like there's any rats nesting. Usually you can tell, not always. Usually there's more rat turds on top of the furnace as opposed to underneath it. So rat. So you may want to just, if you have any problems with allergens, you may want to have a pest guy come out and just make sure there's not something going on up there.
Okay.
I did take a picture of this because that framing member, although it's not doing anything, it was in place there. So they had to put that back in place. This is just saying the sprinkler system didn't work. Again, probably when it's 65 out, it'll probably work. So it doesn't say in the report it didn't work, likely due to the freezing temperatures, and that you should just verify with the homeowners. Does the sprinkler system work? Make sure they verify each zone and there's nothing broken. This is the front light. Light bulb did not come on, so it probably just needs a new light bulb right up there. Smoke detectors are all old. I can tell by the style of those detectors. They're all old. So any detector over 10 years old needs to be replaced. The reason is you can test it. It will test properly, but it may not work in the event of a fire. So 10 years or older, you got to be replaced. This is a missing drain stop at the guest tub, and the flange that's come loose for the backwash. You can just put that in place, put caulk around it. That's something you can do yourself. Now that won't. There's some of these little things like that. They won't be in the report. Fans. We know the fans. 2 of the fans don't work. And then this is the little cracking at the interior of the wall. You see it right there? Right there. That's right here. And then there's also cracking there and cracking there. But again, windows are a weak spot. This is just another crack. Treat time. And that's just where that stuff is at. This light did not come on, so I'm assuming it's a burnt out light bulb. You can't really tell in this picture, but there was some creosote buildup in the throat of that fireplace. So probably good cleaning of the fireplace would be good. Again, that's something you could just buy a log. It's not that bad. The burner pipe, they've been burning wood, looks like the whole time. So some of these little holes here, you can barely see the fire coming out. So probably just a wire brush in there, clean it off and make it work. This is another fan that did not work. This is a loose outlet right over here, very loose in the wall, right down there. The door is a double cylinder deadbolt. That should be a single cylinder with a little knob on it. That's a fire safety thing. This is a moisture damage at this window stool here. 2 spots actually there, and I think over here. This is the microwave. This is me testing the microwave to show it does work. This is the cooktop. This is me testing all of the burners to show that they all are working. It will eventually get over 1200 degrees, but they're up there pretty high right now. This is your dishwasher. This is showing the dishwasher is heating properly. We're looking for 120 to 150, so you're about 130. That's good. That's just the disposal was tested. I filled the sinks up about halfway, pulled the plungers at the same time, hit the disposal at the same time, and looked for any kind of leaks, and there was no leaks under there. This is the temperature on the oven. It was set to 350, and it heated a little bit above 325, so within the range. The range is 325 to 375. This is one door that does stick. This door right here. So you can take it off and turn it off. And that may actually come and go. Summertime, the days, like I said. This one Okay, this is the spa tub. It does work. They don't have an access panel here, so one of the things we're required to do if there's an access panel is check for proper bonding of the motor, which I can't do, and if there's any kind of drip leaks or mold under there, I want to be able to see it because the access panel is not present. So that's old code. This looks like it's fairly new. This is inside the master shower. You need to get some caulking in there or some sealant right along here. And this is the tub. Same thing. You need to get some caulking sealant along that and right along here. Kind of around here too. Really, it's just kind of around the whole area there. We already talked about that. This is a drain rod that's not connected to the sink. The right sink does not have that rod connected to it. The reason I took this picture is this spout is very loose. You can jiggle it. So there's a little Allen wrench. You can tighten that up. That's something you can do yourself. So any sink should have a receptacle within 3 feet of it. And there's no receptacle anywhere. There is one over here.
Okay.
Right there. But normally you would see one, you know, like right here or something, or maybe over here.
Right.
So if you're doing your curling on at the same time as your girlfriend, then you're going to have problems. They can drop something in there. This is in the master bedroom. This is a little cracking at the ceiling up in this corner here. That's it. Any questions?
I mean, it seems that the concerns here, the roof is the major concern, the
Yeah.
electrical issue could be a concern, needs to be dealt with.